grips. Congratulations, kid. Now do it where it fucking matters.
If you want to learn how the youngest CS major winner keeps donking on every pro, then watch this video. Today, we're gonna fully break down the mouse grip and posture of Donk. His mouse grip is probably the most unique thing about his setup and has some real advantages when it comes to mouse control. I used to think it was the same as Zywoo, but it's not. I call it the forward fingertip grip, or should we just call it the Donk? Let's start with the basics of the setup. With this keyboard, he has a slight tilt, and this is always to create space for the hand to move. But do you guys see anything that I might have a problem with? There's a nerve that travels right here on the palm side of our forearm, and it's responsible for controlling the muscles of the hand and sensation around the ring and pinky finger. Yep, the pressure at his forearm after long periods of time can build up, and that can cause some hand weakness and tingling if he's not careful. He might not have issues now because he's young, but it could be a problem in the future. And you can see that he has this on both his keyboard and mouse hand. There's an intentional reason for the right forearm anchoring. Let me explain after I show you how to set up the grip. To try the donk, put the base of your palm closer to the center of the mouse. Then you can place your index, middle, and ring on the mouse buttons like this. And because you are in this forward position, the resting weight of your fingers might activate a click. So you actually have to use the muscles on the top side of your forearm to keep them up or floating. The side of the pinky is towards the middle or front of the mouse, and the thumb is also toward the front. It's a 1-3-1 grip. And this is the base position of his grip. Donk's grip looks really similar to Zywoo and Twistzz, but there's one key difference. His palm is not always touching the mouse. Donk floats his palm primarily with vertical aiming. In order to do this, you have to reduce the tension of your hand on the mouse. And notice how this feels as you try this yourself. This is why it's called a floating fingertip grip. But it's not the main reason why it's unique. The forward-natured position of the palm is what gives him an advantage with left and right flicking. In a game like Counter-Strike and other tactical FPS games, crosshair placement and positioning is very important. This means that you don't need to move your mouse much, and most of the movement is horizontal. And here are some CS movement maps that demonstrate this. His grip gives him increased control for horizontal aiming. With this grip, the finger contact points are shifted forward, which effectively moves the center of control forward. But what is more interesting about this grip is that it reduces the distance between the wrist joint, the primary point of control, and the optical sensor of the mouse. With the joint actually closer to the optical sensor, it gives you that increased sense of control. Go and try this for yourself in a deathmatch or aim bots. You will notice the difference in stability almost instantly and feel as though you have better control of the cursor. Oftentimes, the amount of downward pressure you apply to the mouse can increase this sensation. Because of the floating fingers, fingertip style grip, palm pressure, it can lead to some issues on either side of his wrist if he's not careful. So why does he anchor his forearm? This is commonly seen across the pro community and can actually make it more easy for you to control the mouse. Anchoring the forearm reduces the distance to the mouse, which can reduce the force that is required to move and pick up the mouse with more aggressive types of aiming. And that basically means you don't have to work as hard to control the mouse. Fortunately, he is young, but he can easily prevent these issues by just doing a few wrist curls to build up the endurance of these muscles. And now that we've established his grip, let's zoom out a bit and look at the rest of his posture. Okay, it's actually not that bad, but it's not great. There's some clear shrimp posture here with some rounding of the back and, more importantly, the shoulders. In this position, a deep muscle here, the pec, can get tight, causing some pressure on some nerves, and that can also cause tingling in the ring and pinky fingers. But also, it can affect your ability to hold the mouse. With how much time it's reported that he plays and spends in front of the PC, he could be at risk for some issues like headaches, neck pain, and shoulder pain, especially if he doesn't exercise. Again, youth is on his side, but some of the other players I've worked with have been young as well. And just like the wrist, he can prevent a lot of these issues with just a few exercises. So please, if you find yourself shrimping just like Donk, or Donk, if you're seeing this right now, just do a few of these exercises every few days. I promise you will feel better. Unfortunately, Donk falls into the C tier of my tier list for posture and mouse grips. Even with better control of horizontal movements, there are a lot of risks. But it doesn't mean you can't use it or try it. Just be sure that you perform the right exercises to build endurance of the muscles being utilized so you can prevent any risk of repetitive strain. And if you end up trying this, let me know in the comments how this feels for you. Or if you want to try something less strenuous, check out the grip of this pro right here.